But you did say when you did go out on your own, you had, success. Uh,
Mhm.
what did you do to like market your business? And I'm pretty sure that's probably a competitive area, right?
Yes. So actually I did a complete opposite. When I moved to California, I was actually a stylist that was working for someone else. So I took everything that they taught me. And I only had the opportunity of working in 3 salons, which was great because I didn't get a lot of mixed messages and I worked under fantastic people. But anyway, when I went to California, what I did was I went to an area, right? Temecula is where my salon was. And instead of just going online, I actually went and got boots on the ground. So I was the person that went to all of the network meeting, the business. I went to go join the Chamber of Commerce because number one, I knew what my target audience was. I think some of the people that are hairstylists, they don't know who their audience is. And
Mhm.
I knew that I wanted a specific type of woman and I wanted to go where they were at. Because I know word of mouth is great, but also how do you market to your people when you really don't know them? And
Oh,
I think that was really, really hard. So I actually went to business meetings. I actually met a lot of people that were like, wineries was really big where I live. So I went to wine events and got to meet the lawyers, the doctors, the people in the neighborhood. And I knew those were my type of clients, but I got to use their language,
mhm.
right? And so if I'm new to the game, I don't know how to use their language. I don't know what that industry over there, because from New York, it was completely different in Cali. And so they were not the clients that were in the salon in Christmas. They were on vacation. So on Christmas time, they were doing something different. If I'm promoting during Christmas trying to get clients, I'm not getting a lot of people locally because they're on vacation. So that's how I actually studied for my target audience. And then what I did was I reverse engineered, right? And so then I started to market and advertise myself as the go-to for their specific problems. So when I would go out and I would ask them questions or we would just be talking over a glass of wine, they would be like, "Oh, you're a hairdresser?" And they're like, "Oh," because they would tell me their problems. So what I would do is I would jot down all their problems and then in my advertising, I would start to market to those problems. And in 1 year, I had a full clientele because I figured out what my niche was going to be. I was a colorist for textured hair, and I knew that people were going natural but didn't want the boring color or didn't want to stick with black without compromising the integrity of their hair. So what did I position myself as? The go-to expert in that field. And so there were black people that were going natural, that no wanted to relax their hair but wanted to color it without breaking their hair off. And there I answered the question. So I did it a little different. I didn't go immediately to social media. I went out into the community to find out what they were missing. And then I positioned myself from there, reverse engineer. So it might take a little bit of work for those who might have the time. But for me, I didn't have no kids and my business was my baby. So I know that people's like, that's a lot, but that's what worked. And I think that's one of the issues with people just not knowing who their target audience. If you just say I do hair and I grow healthy hair, well, so does everybody else.
Yeah.
What's going to set you apart, right? What is the thing what's the problem you're solving? And I feel like that's what I did. I wanted to actually attract a certain type of client and know what their problems were. So hopefully that answered your question.